Virtual reality is the future of gaming, full stop. And it's time we asked the obvious. Is VR coming to Riders Republic? One rider took matters into their own hands and it got us thinking. We're going to share that video and our thoughts up next. Welcome back to the Riders Report.
Before we get started today, we want to recognize our existing YouTube members. A special thank you goes out to executive producers Bonecrusher 2D, Coach 34, and my mom, co-producers Captain Snowbeard, and our fans and Fans Plus.
If you'd like to become a member for as low as 99 cents a month and help support our channel, you can hit join below to learn more about perks like early access to the Riders Report, emojis and badges, a members only video per month, sneak peeks, and more.
Riders Republic posted on Twitter that the Protect Our Winters documentary is now live in the Ridge. If you missed it, they added video functions to the main board in the Riders Ridge, so you can watch the documentary, hear the audio, and just hang out with the other riders. If you want to know more about the project, you can head to protectourwinters.org.
Yeah, have you caught that documentary yet in the Ridge?
Not yet. I think I saw it playing on the screen, but I had to get background footage first today, so I might go back and watch it later.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm going to watch it tonight. Maybe we should pop some popcorn. Hey, let's go watch the documentary together. You want to catch a movie after this?
That would be nice. In the Ridge.
Well, there's something that we need to get to before we have our movie date, our Monday night movie date. Reddit user Holydh posted an interesting video a couple of days ago, now 5 or 6 days after this video is coming out, about Bike Binder VR, which I'm going to let you talk about because I have no idea what it is. But basically, the rider is riding a bike in their living room and it's translating into the game.
Yes, it's confusing, but he posted all of the info on how to set it up on GitHub. So it'd be for PC users, but it uses a bike trainer. So if you want to practice riding your bike in the winter, you can put it on some rollers and then ride it in your apartment. And some of them sync up to games. Some of them are just very basic, let the wheel spin. He set up the system up so that it can track your pedals and how fast you're pedaling, and then also the movement on the handlebars using VR controllers. And from that, he uses a game controller program to put that into controls to play Riders Republic by pedaling your bike and steering left and right. And he goes into more detail. There's options of just doing it casual where you pedal and it's fast, or you can really crank up the intensity so you have to ride hard. And then he goes into a bit of you can set it up with VR, but it's not supported by Riders Republic. And it might even go against the terms of using the game because you're using all these third-party programs. So it's not supported, but it might be something worth supporting with a project like this.
Yeah, at the very least, this is an interesting proof of concept for the game and for riders as well. I don't know if VR would be good or bad in this kind of situation where you're actually on the bike. I mean, I feel like being on the bike, you're immersed, right? Like you have the actual feeling, but if you put that VR headset on, you may very well try to bank into one of the corners and take out your coffee table. That's one of the first comments that I saw. User George said, I feel like I would try this and I would absolutely freak out trying to control my muscle memory despite being on a stationary bike. And I agree. I think that might get a little slimy down the road.
Yeah, you might have to have some of the leaning stuff, but I mean, you never know. There are some racing simulators. I think the topic for today, though, would be if VR would be a good addition for Riders Republic to set themselves apart because they have such a beautiful environment. And then we have sports like bike, paramotor, wingsuit, rocket wingsuit, skiing, snowboarding that could really suit that audience. Maybe not for the heavy trick side, but just exploring this map.
Yeah, that may very well be the route that you take for, like you said, the exploratory riders, the exploration riders, like myself, and I think a little like you dabble in the tricks, but you do enjoy a good ride. This video, watching this rider, on a bike in their living room, watching the screen, really made me want to just go for a ride. And I think that's what VR would do. I would come in and instead of sitting down and playing F1 in the racing sim, I would strap on the headset and just go for a nice ride out in the open, listening to the nature in the game, all of that. It's the immersion that we had in Steep with all the vastness and very, isolated, very immersive, even without VR. But bringing that into a game like Riders Republic would be gorgeous. And I do think that that's how you anchor that side of the fan base as well.
I think there is actually a skateboard VR game coming. I think it's out already on PC, but coming to PlayStation VR. And action sports would be an interesting area to incorporate because a lot of the culture around these sports is hanging out in a park, watching other riders do their thing. Mm-hmm. So you could hang out in the ridge, talk to people, walk around, watch other riders. But then when you get into the actual riding and how aggressive action sports are, it's not a seamless transition. And I think that's not as big of a selling point. But I would love to explore the map, walk around, hang out at Brett's Burgers, get one, sit down at the ridge, watch the movie all in VR.
Yeah, using those RC to buy virtual burgers and eat virtual burgers in the game. Yeah, I could see this being implemented. I don't think, like you said, this is not a trick port, right? Like VR is not going to be for the trick heavy for all of those tournament events and whatever else. This is going to be for sitting on the side of the pipe, watching your buddies go, talking to people, more of like a metaverse experience, social experience than a competitive tricks competition. But that being said, I really do think that would be enjoyable. Now, would you also want to pair that with a virtual snowboard where you're on an actuator platform like a Wii Fit or something of that degree where you do have the pressure, so you're getting one more level of immersion? Or is that a moot point? Is setting up your bike to be a controller in the game, is that just too much if you're stacking VR on top of it?
I think it is. Excuse me too. I think it is too much. We had Tony Hawk had a game with the skateboard, and it worked. But again, you're buying a peripheral. Did it? I'd never tried it.
Sorry.
I don't know if people would buy into that, and they're not going to sell peripherals for Riders Republic. You could partner with someone like the bike trainers. I think Zwift is one where you could kind of sync the stuff going on your bike into the game. But that's a lot of stuff to add too. I'm just thinking, riders will have to differentiate themselves when Skate 4 comes out, or Skate. I think it's just Skate. And some of these other action sports games, it's starting to be a heavy market with just action sports, arcadey style. So they should be looking at something different. I don't know if this is right or not.
One thing where VR would set Riders Republic above the rest would be, and I'm bringing it back again to this topic, replay mode. If you had a director mode or some way where, you ride your line and then you throw on your VR headset to record the keyframes of the camera, you are the camera person. Mm-hmm. So you're just following along. You don't need the stick controls or whatever else. That may be something. Again, I don't think that requires them to actually put VR in just for that one thing. But I think if you're trying to go for the social aspect of having VR as a part of the game in the exploration, in the wingsuits, and just all of the, sights and sounds, that may be a feature that you could add in. But, that's just a cherry on top of a cake that we don't even know if we need to eat.
Yeah, I don't see him doing it for that, but flying a drone like you see in GoPro and the Red Bull events where they follow a person down the route, that could be a really good use for VR. I don't think it's going to happen with the replay mode we have now, but maybe in Riders Republic 2 or another game, that could be something that's seriously added, because I think VR is a growing market. PSVR 2 has been doing really well, and so I could see some games starting to add a bit more features, kind of one at a time in.
Well, you heard it here on Nick and Mitch first. Season 9, drone racing, FPV drone racing coming to Riders Republic with a VR port. Yeah, could they do it? Yes. Should they do it? I don't know. I don't see them justifying all of the legwork that it would take to port VR into this game just to do sit around and talk to friends and ride the wingsuit.
Yeah,
cool idea.
Props to holy DH for coming up with something like this and putting all of the information online, because I might even try it on my exercise bike, or some other people might too. Just another way to pass the time while you're exercising at home, stuck in winter for the third time this year in Pittsburgh, it seems, where it's like 30 degrees. So it would be nice just to ride around in the Republic.
Yeah, you just got through Fool's Spring. It really confused you there with those couple 90-degree days. If you have a thought on whether VR should be a part of Riders Republic or not, please sound off down in the... Why did I just say sound off? Let us know down in the comments below. Let's move on. I'm getting cheesy here. Well, we just have one Riders Republic video for you this week. It is a 12-minute video trying out the skate park by Low Key Gaming. You can see it in the background here. But we also have some other riders doing some videos in other games and real life that we just did not feature this week. So please go check out the Nick and Mitch Discord server. That link is down below, and you can find the self-promo tab. And if you have any content that you or your friends would like to share with the world, or you feel the world deserves to see, please drop the link there. Thanks again to Low Key Gaming, Ian Hawk BMX, Gunny Guns, and all of the other regulars for producing some killer content, making our weekly episodes look as good as they are. Thank you for joining us for episode 73 of the Riders Report.
This is a lot of thank yous. A special thank you goes out to our YouTube members as well. Our executive producers, Bone Crusher 2D, Coach 34, and my mom.
Yeah,
our co-producers, Fans and Fans Plus, and a new fan, Liam Alexander Gudgeon. So thank you for joining the channel. If you also want to join our growing membership base, you can hit join down below and you'll get the cool perks like early access to this show, emojis, badges, members only videos, sneak peeks, random posts, and whatever else we throw up on there.
Yeah, and we are just under 200 people remaining before we hit our 2,000 subscriber mark. So please, tell your parents, tell mom, tell dad, tell your guardian, go give Nick and Mitch a subscribe over on YouTube, please. It's 100% free. You can follow our channel for $0 a month, and it helps us immensely. You can subscribe for free, just like your mom and your dad, to stay up to date on all of the Riders Republic content here at Nick and Mitch, including this show that airs every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern, and our X Games style competitions. The Tartiflette Games will be returning soon, we promise. We need to get through the 5 levels of winter, and by the time it's July, we should be able to reroute, and we should be able to get some TFG action back on the slopes. But we should be able to get some TFG back.
Just end it. Just end it. Kill it.
I'm done. We'll see you next week. I'm Nick.
I'm Mitch.
What? This is...